Abdominal surgery, more than any other surgery, needs preparation. Why? Because we use our abdominals with every move we make. So after surgery, if you move your abdominals incorrectly, then you're going to undo the stitches. This is called an incisional hernia, and this requires another surgery to repair those stitches that have come undone. So preparing for abdominal surgery will definitely prevent an incisional hernia. So how do we prepare for abdominal surgery? We want to strengthen the abdominal muscles so they're strong enough to use them in the recovery process with your activities of daily living. We want to strengthen the connective tissue because it's going to be easier to sew if it's stronger. And we're going to want to have an awareness of how to use the abdominal muscles in the recovery process. So what do I mean by this? Your transverse muscle is the one that we use with every move that we make. This is the innermost abdominal muscle, and the action of this muscle is forwards and backwards. So if the abdominal muscles go forward, that's going to be putting force on the stitches, making them come undone. If they go backwards, away from the stitches, this is going to maintain the integrity of the sutures. So for example, after surgery, the doctor says, don't lift anything heavy, nothing over 5 pounds. So when I go from a seated position to a standing position, I'm lifting a whole lot more than 5 pounds. I'm lifting my whole body weight. So it's my whole body weight of force on those stitches if I don't engage them before I stand up. So I have to have that awareness. All right, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to bring my abdominals back towards my spine, away from the stitches. And then they have to be strong so I'm able to hold it there when I stand up. So all these activities of daily living, it's so important to have this awareness. When you sneeze, you want to make sure your abdominals are in. When you cough, when you stand up, when you sit down, when you're getting in and out of bed, when you're having a bowel movement, so important, because if you don't engage it, it's going to be going forward forcefully on those stitches. So you're thinking to yourself, so what does making a diastasis recti smaller before abdominal surgery have to do with the abdominal surgery? Let me give you an example with an umbilical hernia. So an umbilical hernia is a side effect of a diastasis. When the connective tissue stretches sideways, the belly button loses the support. So if you're going to sew the middle at the belly button, sew that umbilical hernia up, and you're open above and below, and the more you're open, the harder it is going to sew to sew the middle and maintain the integrity of the sutures. So if you make it closer together, you're going to have a better chance of maintaining the integrity of the sutures with that surgery. However, the process of making a diastasis smaller, all right, strengthens the connective tissue, strengthens the muscles, and the best thing about making the diastasis smaller is that you might not need the surgery for the umbilical hernia. I have several clients, and you can see this on my website, that have done my program and then have not needed to have the umbilical hernia surgery. So making a diastasis smaller is really the preparation for abdominal surgery. So not only does it prepare you for abdominal surgery, by bringing the muscles closer together, it helps get rid of back pain. For pregnant women, it prevents having a C-section, because when the muscles are separated, it puts the uterus out of position. So making a diastasis smaller, this whole process, all right, is really important for all these things. Now, the Tupler technique closes a diastasis by healing the connective tissue. And how do we do this? We do this 3 ways. By positioning the connective tissue and the muscles in a narrower position, keeping them close together, all right, with the Diastasis Rehab splint, all right, The position is important for the connective tissue to be kept in this narrow position, right? And it's important for the muscles, because if you have a large diastasis and you bring the muscles back, the outermost muscles are going to move sideways. So the positioning of the muscles in the connective tissue is very important in this process. Protecting the stretched out connective tissue from getting stretched. So we don't want to do certain movements that flare your ribs, the crossovers, the hands and knees. These all stretch your connective tissue, so we want to protect the connective tissue from that. And then we want to strengthen both the muscles and the connective tissue. So when the connective tissue is in this narrow position and you do the exercise, the tension on the connective tissue is going backwards, strengthening both the muscles and the connective tissue. We never want it going forward, always backwards. So this is the Tupler Technique method for closing a diastasis.